Hi, my name is Landon Walsh. I'm the writer and director of A Knight's End, which is a sequel to a fan film I made a couple years ago. I will be doing a director's commentary here for any behind the scenes fun facts I can think of, or just interesting stuff about shooting and kind of what my intentions were. And since it is a short film, I might have to pause it every now and then to get the full story out. So here we go. So I wanted it to be. It's so hard to summarize the first film in like a sentence and a half, but I wanted it to be relatively recent after the first one, but like kind of like Varen's gone into hiding. He's on a quest. He hasn't really returned to the world yet. He's still kind of dealing with the first film. Um, and then really I wanted to have polar opposite locations from the first one. So the first one was all nature, so I really wanted this one to be all industrial. And there is the cold open. Um, really tried to ramp up the costuming. See, we didn't shoot this during the pandemic this time, so I didn't have to like put duct tape on clothes I already owned. I actually got legit costumes this time. But just love this setting. This is actually an automotive paint booth at my place of work at the time, and it just looks so cool. As my brother said, it looks like a spaceship docking system or something. As soon as I saw it, I was like, I have to do something here. Even yeah, overspray on the walls, and like that's red paint from like a spill, and I tried to utilize it all, and love this shot through the window. But yeah, I tried to utilize all the paint stains in the booth and try to give them a story. Like those are blaster marks on the wall, or that's blood on the floor. And then we were trying to get props. So that is actually you can very much tell that is a computer monitor that I found at Salvation Army and spray painted silver. But I mean, it's all about resources. I really love how this costume turned out. That's actually just a tap light inside of a Halloween mask, but I think it adds production quality. Or the illusion of. His costuming took a long time to figure out. His name is Quib Knot, and he's kind of just like a shady bookie or something. I guess the vibe I was kind of going for was like space space bookie or something, or shady con man. So he's kind of like he's dressed nice, but obviously he is still an alien, and I was really trying to show more aliens in the sequel. So if you know anything about me, my favorite movie trope of all time is a Thunderdome, just any arena where two people have to fight. So I just had to make I had to make that the focus of this one. So, and there's that red filter again, which I just love. I call it the Daredevil filter. There we go. Of course, yeah, upgraded the budget on the lightsaber hilt too. It's no longer PVC pipe and spray paint. It's actual aircraft aluminum. 8 hours earlier. So now that the cold open's done, now this scene was actually added last to the script. The entire script was done, and then I added this scene in because I think the plot needed explanation. It kind of just starts and doesn't explain what it's doing. So this I added this scene in so that Varn could explain his motivations to somebody. But obviously, yes, I tried to wrap up the new high production hilt to make it look a little bit like the one in the first film. And Vinny's always a favorite of mine. I just like this running joke that Vinny never gets to go on the adventures. He hangs out at Varen's ship and just is like it tells him what stuff is wrong, and then goes back to the ship. That's actually the same tap light that's in Quibnot's mask, but that is obviously Lindsay Russell, who is just the greatest of all time because she did all of the all of the makeup, all of the camera work, and then it was obviously also Darth Spire in the first film. So now she is portraying Captain Westbend, and I really, I needed I wanted a rebel like captain, kind of like a Mon Mothma, Wedge Antilles kind of character. That background was originally just plain white with like a tree, so I cut it out and tried to put like a space city. But yeah, that was really great for Lindsay for stepping in, and I don't know. It'd be interesting to see Darth Spire and Captain Westbend meet. Maybe they're long lost sisters. No, I'm just kidding. That is my favorite, probably one of my favorite shots that we managed to capture that night. We were shooting at like 9 at night, so that the place was empty, the warehouse. And then I think the latest we stayed there, it took place over 2 nights, but the latest we were there was 10:30, I think. And that is actually my brother, who drove 2 hours to star in this film, and I'm very grateful. He does such an awesome job. I think the animation for these lightsabers took like a month, maybe I think 2 months actually, but we worked out this whole choreography. Oh, it's so good. That duck, really, I like that duck. And I had to animate the lightsaber in the window too, which you don't have to think about while you're shooting. But yeah, we practiced and mapped out the choreography an hour before the shoot, and then we went on to do it a lot more times while we were there, because we kind of forgot everything we mapped out, but we got the gist of it. And I really, this guy's name is Anqual. I'm gonna pause it right here, but really, I really wish we would have. There was no easy way to work in his backstory in a short film without it being clunky. I really wanted to delve in to more of who he is, because I think kind of the backstory we had in mind when we were shooting was very interesting. Basically, he's not a good guy or a bad guy. That's why his lightsaber's white. He's a force hunter, so he goes after anybody who has the force, and it's kind of like Highlander. He just wants to be the greatest force user of all time, so he just like keeps an ear out for any new force users and then tries to hunt them down. And the script had it like he was General Grievous, like he had like his belt was just like 1,000 lightsabers hanging from his belt, but didn't have the time or the money to pull that off. But that's the general idea, and it would have been really interesting to delve into that, but there wasn't really a way, because he really shows up and starts attacking immediately. And he doesn't talk, so there's not really a way to like incorporate that. But that was the idea when I wrote the character, and I think that concept kind of lends a little bit of mystery to who he is, really. But anyway, yeah, my brother Kellen portrayed that character, and he did a great job. He was dripping with sweat because that paint booth was so warm. It was so warm because it's like so insulative. So I was sweating so much while shooting that I couldn't see straight. There was just like buckets and buckets of sweat in my eyes, and it stung. So like between takes, I'm just like trying to wipe my eyes out, but I physically couldn't see anything. And the whole idea to have Anqual turn his lightsaber off and hide in the dark was actually Callan's idea, and it was really good because it's kind of shows ingenuity, but and then kind of a little Darth Maul cut in half, if but like obviously lower budget than that, but kind of what we're going for. And then now we are Quibnot's office. This is a different booth in the same kind of warehouse, but yeah. Force Unleashed is one of my favorite games and entries into the Star Wars canon, so I kind of there was a Ram Coda audio file in the first film, so I felt like just need to fully dive into it, and this kind of takes place in the Force Unleashed universe, and this is kind of the series is kind of turning into like the backstory of Ram Coda's lightsaber, and how maybe he was separated from it at one time, but then went on to um, get it back somehow, and the Varntem is maybe one of those ways. But so yeah, that was A Night's End. Very, very happy with how it turned out. I really think it was really fun to make, and I think I would love one day to finish out the trilogy and do a third one. I need to take a good, really long break after all that lightsaber animation, but this has been A Night's End, and I hope you enjoyed it.